Hello everyone, in today's video we are going to discuss how to play the French defense opening with the black pieces when our opponent plays the advanced French. So this video is going to be very critical if you really want to improve in the game of chess. So I don't want to waste any further time, so let's start. So starting the game, we have one e4, e6, also known as the French defense opening, considered one of the most solid openings to play with the black pieces. And here white plays the move e5, simply advancing in the center, having more space. We play c5, the general idea of attacking the d4 pawn because it's a weakness now. c3, knight c6, knight f3, queen b6. And here white decides to play a3. There are already couple of moves in this position for white. White can play bishop e2, bishop d3, knight to a3, a3, and many more. e3 the move. So yeah, after queen b6, we are today going to focus on everything if white plays a3. After e3, white's idea is pretty concrete. White wants to play b4 on the next move. For example, bishop d7, white can play b4, takes, and white's idea is to simply complete the development on the queen side, and white is pretty happy. So that's why after a3, we are playing the move c4 in this position, stopping white from playing b4. And now black is already having a very interesting plan. You might have never seen this in your entire life. So after c4, we have knight to d2, simply developing on the queen side and also preparing to play b3 break. So we play knight to a5, stopping this b3. And now white is having couple of options available. So white can play bishop e2, white can play rook to b1, or white can even go for playing something like g3, developing the bishop via g2. So first, starting with what happens if the opponent simply plays bishop to e2. Okay, let's first start what happens if white plays rook to b1, just focusing on getting a break with b3. So an important move to remember here is, like, whenever your opponent plays rook to b1, you must every time play just queen to c7. Okay, but only in this particular move order. When white plays instantly rook b1, now we can simply play bishop to d7. Our idea is pretty concrete. If white ever goes for playing b4, we can take, and now bishop to a4. If the knight move, we can capture the queen. So here, the best variation for white is to capture on a5. Bishop takes, rook takes, pawn takes, bishop b5, check king e7. And what's happening? Look, takes. Okay, so now currently we are an exchange up. So first of all, your opponent must know the line. And second, this is pretty fine for black. Now after a4, white's idea is to play bishop a3, or else we are going to play a4 and going to be completely winning. So a4, now f6, rook to e1, king f7. So this is the whole idea of making some space so that the other pieces can get out of the territory. g4, knight e7, developing the knight first, g5. And white's idea is to attack the pawn on f6. So we kind of force the way by playing the move h6. Our idea is already to capture the pawn. So takes, bishop to d7. Here, we can play rook a6, defending the pawn. White can attack the rook, and we can make the repetition if we want. Or else, we can actually just play the move rook to b8, which is pretty interesting because, like, for example, bishop a3 can already be met with knight g6, knight f4 is coming up, and black is already slightly better. So the only move to give white slight advantage in the position is to play knight to e5. But here we can still take and just play knight to f5, and this is extremely fine position for black. You can definitely go and play this in your tournament games, no problem at all. So yeah, even if you are just a better endgame player, you might win this one actually. Like maybe, I believe bishop d6, putting some pressure over here. You are having a pass pawn. You are also having an open g file. So maybe, like, the position is even, but if you are a better endgame player, you can actually grind this out. So this is exactly how you play when your opponent plays the move rook to b1. So now discussing two other variations which are also very interesting at the same time. So if white goes for playing the move bishop to e2, now we simply develop with bishop to d7. Just not try to just keep remembering the move number, but just know the idea. You are simply going to be impressed. So bishop d7, our idea here is b4 takes, we put the bishop to a4. We are now pretty knowledgeable. So here after bishop d7, now white is having two ways. White can either go short castle or he can play rook to b1 now. So for example, if white plays rook to b1, now we are going to play queen to c7. So whenever white plays rook b1, we can just play queen to c7, because here we are having another idea. Because whenever white plays b4, we can already take, and in the end of the day, now for now we are having bishop a4, but you can see that the c3 pawn is also hanging in the future whenever white tries to play b4. Like in this position, bishop a4 is just too strong. We are getting a piece. So yeah, here white plays short castle. We play knight to e7, rook to e1, knight c8, knight f1, knight b6. So this is the idea. We are maneuvering the knight to b6, bishop f4. So basically now we have kind of stopped all the ideas white is having on the queen side. Any chances of breaks? We can play h6 because like we want to do a long castle, but we do not want to allow something stuff like knight g5, though it's not coming. But anyways, h6 is a very good move. So before castling, always play it. Yeah. Queen d2, long castle. h4, bishop e7. h5, just rook d to g8. And what's our idea? You will simply get impressed by the structure. We have already castled long side. There is no way white can attack by any pawn breaks. Because we have already all up three, you can say four pieces to defend everything. And now at the same time, we are having both the rooks lined up on the king side. And our idea is pretty straightforward with g6, g5, even capturing on h5. We are having this open bishop. Maybe sometime we can even get our queen into the game to checkmate the white king. So this is definitely a very interesting idea whenever your opponent plays rook to b1. So now discussing what happens if your opponent simply does a short castle here. The idea still remains the same. Queen c7, rook e1, knight c8, h6, bishop f4, knight g6, h4, bishop e7, long castle, rook b g8, and here bishop h4 can simply met with g5. Takes first bishop a4, because you cannot capture the pawn because the bishop is hanging. So just bishop a4, just capture the bishop, takes, and you are completely winning. You are having this pawn breaks. You are having this one move direction from queen to the queen side to the king side, and black is already better. So this is exactly you can play whenever your opponent plays bishop e2. And now coming to the final move, structure, or I would say whenever your opponent plays g3. So after g3, you can continue with the same structure again one more time. Bishop d7. And here white is having two ideas, h4 or bishop g2. To be true, it doesn't make any sense to change the structure. The structure still remains the same. But for any doubts, I'm still going to discuss the position. Like we can simply short castle, bishop h3, king to b8, short castle, h6, rook to e1, knight to e7. So you can see, like, it's not necessary for black to follow any particular move order, but you just need to remember the structure. Black castle long side, black played king b8, we have knight e7, knight c8, knight b6 coming up. Knight f1, queen c7, bishop e7, bishop e3, knight b6. And black is already having a pretty comfortable position. Like knight h2, just rook f8. Our idea is to now get the f5 break. Okay, so we have g6 break, stopping f5, and black is having a perfect position to play. So this is how you can play with the black pieces. You just need to remember the structure, not the position. Now discussing what happens if your opponent plays bishop to g2. Still we can do a long castle, king b8, and the position is still the same. Yeah, just knight e7, knight c8, queen c7, knight b6, bishop a4 maybe, if you want, or else just bishop e7, h6. h6 is a very important move and a very nice move to stop any knight g5, bishop g5. So a must play move, I would say. And then just rook d g8 and maybe g6 or f6 break, depending upon the position, and black is pretty happy. So yeah, this is how you can play the French defense whenever your opponent plays a3 on the move number 6. So yeah, if you learned anything new today, make sure to like the video, share this video with everyone, and make sure to subscribe to our channel if you are new to our channel. It's free for you, but it helps us to motivate to make more videos like this. So I'm definitely going to come up with these more interesting videos like this. If you have any particular suggestion on what topic should I make the video, you can just drop a comment down below and I'm definitely going to come up with that particular video. So I'm going to see you soon. So till then, stay tuned and keep watching OneShot Chess.